I have a four-seater side-by-side that I just bought. Unfortunately, I need more seats in it. So I've been looking at different options, and the options I've been looking at are ridiculous. Is buy another side-by-side so I could take the whole family, or buy an ATV that holds two more. But then I started looking into some seats, and this one company has a rear seat that is a bench seat for my side-by-side, and it's $1,200. I'm like, then they have these things called a bump seat, which are anywhere from $250 to $300 depending on the model that you have. So I'm not looking at either one of those routes. What I'm looking at here, I will show you. I've been studying this back end quite a bit, and there's so much room that they could be literally utilizing that they don't. Now, okay, there's over 2 inches on this side, and you got some room here and room here, and this is where those bump seats would go. So technically you can get one of those bump seats that the stitching is horrific, the same way with a $1,200 three-seater. You know, the stitching on both of those are just they're bad. They don't look good. So that tells me all I need to know, and I want to keep my family safe. So what I've decided to do is take these seats out and utilize the frame that I have here and do some welding and stuff like that. Possibly cut this thing here out, because you know I can put cup holders anywhere I want, and just have a really nice bench seat that is homemade. So if you're interested in something like that, then keep watching, because I've got all the stuff I need to make a bench seat for the back of this. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. If anybody's wondering about how much room that I have in the back of this Kawasaki, it's quite a bit. I'll show you quick. So I've got more than enough knee room, depending on where you have the seat pushed. You know, I got the grab bar right here. Got more than enough room here on the side. Like, I see more seat than anything. You know, I got a lot of seat cushion here, so even if I push this seat against this part here, I'm still going to have another at least inch. Now, of course, you want your body, you want to, you know, be able to spread your legs a little bit and just move around. But yeah, just say I brought it way against here and maybe a little bit of bumped out to here. So that way it's touching right there. That way you can get even more room. So I'm still not, like, I still got more than enough room here. Let me see. There we go. That's a little bit better. You know, I'm still, where I can at least rest my arm comfortably right here, and I'm not uncomfortable. Look how much room that is missing, and that's not only on this side, but that'll be that side too. I took that cushion out. Oh, yeah. Let's get this show on the road. I'm probably going to delete this. There's no need for it. Just cut it right out. I did forget to add that my main goal here is to make it to where I could put the bucket seats back in case I want to sell it and the new owner doesn't want that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be deleting this, but I'm going to keep it. That way I can get it, you know, bolted right back in place. And I'm going to connect this to this right here. And to get these seats out is very simple. This isn't connected by nothing. It's just 4 bolts and this whole frame comes out. And then there's 4 smaller bolts holding the back seat, and it lifts right up on both sides. And they're real simple. So there's that. Just want to let you guys know that I plan on connecting it from point A to point B. Yeah, it simplify things. Why make it more difficult by building a whole new frame structure? Sure, I'm going to expand it out, but I can bolt in frame sections from here to here if I want to, you know, pull it out more. I'm not taking this and pulling it away, because underneath this is a good frame section that it bolts to right here, and I don't want to jeopardize any of that structure, because that's the strongest structure you're going to get is the frame of the end, the side by side, and this is bolted to it, and that's exactly what you want to keep. That you want to leave that alone. So I'm just going to expand it here to here and then jump it from there to there. Now right here is the section. I just cut it real nice even. I left a nice lip right here and this bump right here. I wanted to take out because that bump would have caused the angle iron that I plan on connecting from point A to point B. It would have, you know, just bent this down in it. So try to cut along the edge. Leave a nice lip in case you want to install it back in. It's easy to plastic weld that back together. So got this all out. This is what it looks like underneath. You got the exhaust down in there. So now you got this big gaping hole. What do? You get another piece of plastic and you cover it over it. And what I do is I'm going to pinch it up underneath this and this. That way it's nice and sealed. You don't want it completely sealed because there's little holes in these side-by-sides everywhere for a reason. On the floors and everything. That's because of water and stuff like that. Easy to wash out. I was going to use metal, but metal's a little overkill and it'll rust. So I'm just going to use plastic. I'm going to slide it under here, drill 2 holes, and whenever I get this whole system bolted down with it, it'll be nice and secure. This is the contraption that I came up with right here. Ignore the welds. I was testing a new welder and welding rods, and here it wasn't the welder, it was a problem. It was the welding rods. It just gave me a migraine. Anyhow, this is the finished product. This is only just to stop any kind of sagging from the center. There's really no other structural thing that it does. It doesn't hold anything in, no seat belts or nothing. Of course I gotta sand it up and paint it, that way it don't rust, but I made it to where it's removable. So instead of drilling, I decided to etch these pieces out, all right, all 4 sides. That way it can fit right in there, and then when I bolt it down, it'll suck down to it. Now it's not going to go anywhere because the board is going to go on top of here, and this is just for downward pressure. So there's that. This is just a small update on how I'm accomplishing that. Next I'm going to be tackling coming out here a little bit. I'm not going to cut this out at all. I think the board's going to sit real nice right on top of this, and I'll just have to put something out here to make it sturdy. Yeah, trial and error. Let's see how this works. Now, there's something I did a little bit different with this. Normally your seat will click down into here, and it'll have a little clicker thing to pull up in here. Those are fine and dandy, but with a longer one, I wanted something a little different. This being round, I figure I'd make some clamps onto this. That way I can lift this seat up if I need to. And it also, not only when I lift this seat up, I'm able to get in here and screw those back in there to clamp. I'll show you the clamps real quick. Kind of hard to understand these clamps. These are super wide. Yeah, I spray the heck out of them. I don't care. They're going underneath there. You're not going to see them. And runs ain't going to hurt it. So these are literally going to get bolted right here. Now this is the seat pan. This is what I'm using, and whenever I lift that seat up, I'm able to screw that down in, and that'll clamp right around that round bar. So yeah, if I need it to get a little bit tighter, I'll just put another screw here to clamp it, but I think that's more than enough. That's very nice thick steel that I bent around the clamp. I'm gonna put one there, super wide band there, and another one there. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna put the seat in and get it back out. Another thing is, this stuff right here might be expensive, but please, if you're going to put anything like the kind of wood or something like that for the bottom of the seat, you got to go with the good stuff. This stuff is expensive. Trust me, you're going to like it in the long run. You're actually going to love it in the long run. If you use the cheap stuff, it's not going to last. This stuff, you can get waterlogged multiple times before it starts to separate. Now, it's not meant to last forever, but nothing's meant to last forever. This stuff right here is the best for any kind of like water or anything like that. I don't plan on driving in creeks or anything like that, but of course I'm going to get in some mud and stuff. Now if you're not familiar with this stuff is called Zap. It is a Zap system, and it is water resistant, not waterproof, but like I said, this is the best stuff to use for the application I'm going to be using it on. If you kind of notice this green stuff, this is what they put on the outside of buildings and stuff like that before they put the siding and stuff. Works really good. A lot of times people leave this out in the weather for multiple years and nothing ever happens. So like I said, do not skimp. If you're going to use to build a seat outdoors in a side-by-side, get this stuff. So what I'm using for a cushion is what they call like a fiber foam. Marine application, boats and stuff like that use this stuff. I got a higher density stuff. This stuff is nice. It's really thick. You can see how thick it is. I believe this is the 4-inch stuff. And if you look, you'll see like a little bit of spray stuff here. Contact cement, get that spray stuff for fabric or whatnot, and spray it on both sides. Let it dry a little bit and get a little tackiness, and then lay this gently down on there and make sure you're sized up for it when you go to put that down on there. That'll stick this to this, and there'll be no movement, because if you don't do that, then you got a good chance of your cushion moving back and forth, and you know, it is what it is. So contact cement is definitely what you need to do in order to get this to mate up with this. I mean, it's not like you screw this into this. So I'll show you stuff I use here. Yeah, this stuff here works good. It's pricey, but you get what you pay for. So now I'm going to take this 4-inch piece and I'm going to lay it down on there, and that is going to be now 1 unit. And another thing I want to address is I used 2 pieces of this Zap stuff and put it together a little more sturdier. So strength in numbers, that's basically what I'm doing there. Well, that's where I'm at so far. Now this is the finished product. It's not perfect. I wasn't cutting and sewing. I just tugged, pulled, stapled, and it's pretty flat. There's one little divot spot here. Not a big deal. Other than that, she's flat straight across. I am more than pleased with it. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, it's a little thicker than 4. I doubled up those pieces just because extra cushion. Yeah, and longevity. I use vinyl. Always use vinyl, don't use cloth, because cloth, you'll get the water down in there. This, you can just pour water on it and it'll just come right off. So, a lot more water resistant than cloth. Reason why I went with this color, a lighter gray, is the same reason why all boats have lighter interior, because when that sun hits it on a hot day, you do not want to sit in this thing and burn yourself, especially if you're wearing shorts. So that's why I went with a lighter color than black. Alright, let's put it in the side by side and see what it looks like. There it is. Yes, I love it. Super nice. Straight. Alright, sit in it. Now it's not bolted down or anything, but I don't have the backs in yet, as you see. So give me more cushion. The back's going to come out to here. Yeah, got more than enough. Like, more than enough to fit 3 adults in here easily. So nice. This thing's cushy. I am happy with this. If you look too, it's about the same color as the original seats, but these original seats are kind of wore, and they got black. Oh, getting out is real nice too. Slips right down right there. Yeah, I am super happy with that. If you're wondering what that is, that's my diesel heater, heating it up in there. This is before to that. Yeah. Put the frame in. Well, first I put the extra plastic piece there in the bottom. Turned out fantastic. Just bent it up around and put the frame in. She is bolted in, washered up, and ready to go. Like I said, this is only to stop any kind of sagging in between. I really didn't even have to put that in there because I doubled up the board that I used, but I mean, it is what it is. Just say I got a really large person to sit in the dead center. You never know. But yeah, so far. Now all I gotta do is install the back of the seat, and then I've got the backrest I gotta do. I decided to change up my little idea with the clamp underneath. Talk about a migraine. It was hard to get this seat where it positioned and lift up where I needed it in order to get it to screw up in. So what I did is I screwed it in the bottom part up under here, and then I bolted it washered to the back of this plastic, and these are nice and thick. Now mind you, this really is just sitting here, so it's not like a hardcore structural piece and stuff like that. It is going nowhere, not with these nice thick steel, super wide both sides. So yeah, figure I'd just give you guys a heads up on that. I spent about an hour trying to get that to loop underneath this metal bar down in here, but yeah, wasn't working. So there's that. So far so good. It's super soft, and now we got to do the back part. The back part's going to be relatively a lot more easier than this. Easy to get to. So, and here it is. Yes, almost finished product. The reason why it says almost is because I have another seat belt that I'm putting in a dead center, of course, for 3 seats. And of course, I'm utilizing the stock seat belts that came with it on both sides. Both buckles are down in there yet. I got to pull them up. I got to re-torque them down. They were actually loose. So once I get those tightened down, and yeah, I used hooks in the back of this. So this is removable. All I got to do is lift it up and then it'll pull out. So this whole seat thing is removable with just a little bit of elbow grease. Easy to alter the bucket seats right back in it. But yeah, let's get some people in there. Let's see how much room I have. This is how much room I have. Is your door closed? Yeah. Oh, you got plenty of room. You got a lot of room, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, so they're semi-adults, and they've got more than enough room, my 2 daughters, and there is my boy. So yeah, I would say 3 full-grown adults will be able to fit on that seat. There's more room on this seat than that one, that $1,200 seat with the ugly stitching. But there you go. I'll give you another shot real quick. This is how much room she has. She hasn't moved yet, so more than enough room. And she has more than enough room, so she could actually slide over quite a bit. But yeah, this is cool. I really like this, and there's a lot of knee room too, as you see. So this is 2 thumbs up on this project. Here's a picture of the hooks. I took this real thick metal and candy caned them on all 4 sides. Drilled a hole down through the center at the very end. I ran a bead of weld around it. That way it's still mobile, but will not pop back through. Yeah, so it works out good because I'm able to lift up on this, and this whole unit can come out. It's a little snug, but I wanted it snug. There's another look at it. A pretty good job. I'm pretty proud of myself. Well, who knows, might be able to fit 4 back there. I might be pushing it, maybe 4 little kids, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. Overall cost, I have about $150, $160 in there, give or take. Yeah, with the fabric and the foam stuff and the board. I got the board on a little bit of a discount. It was chipped on the one end, so I was able to get that for literally half off. But you didn't have to go as severe as me. I mean, I got 2 pieces. I only used 1. I didn't even use a whole full piece of that, so that's what I'm saying, about $150. You know, screws and stuff like that. Yeah, about $150. So yeah, there you have it. Yeah, you can get the $1,200 seat if you want, or if you want to put a little elbow grease in it. It took me roughly, if you got the know-how and you can do it, it took me about, I'd say 8 hours in total, and I was just taking a little breaks here and there, eating tacos and whatnot. So yeah, not too bad considering a bump seat, which goes in between there. If you look at them, they're real narrow in the back. They're, like I said, $250. Now the front one is $300 for this one, for the Kawasaki 804. But I decided to just make my own, you know, take my chances, because I mean, 150 bucks means a lot, but $1,200, oof. Now, of course, you get the 3 seat belts and stuff like that, but I'm utilizing the standard seat belts that are in a standard position. So none of that was altered, so they're still 100%. And I'm going to be using another seat belt for the dead center. That seat belt didn't cost me no money. You can go to literally any junkyard and look at a van and get yourself some seat belts that are proper for $5, because not too many people take the seat belts out. So there you have it. So 150 bucks, I'll take it.